Love and revenge from the underworld. The ghost of a mother will come to protect her children from a rival. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a channel of impressive true stories. In each episode, people who call themselves psychics investigate criminal cases and paranormal events. This story began at the project's editorial office, where Ukrainian clairvoyant Yaroslava Fedorova brought a portrait of a woman she had drawn herself. She thinks the woman is in grave danger.
I saw a dead man reaching out for the woman, who was alive. I'd like to ask you to search for this woman's photo among the letters. We must rescue her. Did she or her family contact us?
Finding somebody by their portrait is almost impossible, but we tried our best. Unfortunately, it brought no results. But how shocked we were when later the woman from the clairvoyant's picture knocked on our door.
I need your psychic's help badly. Some otherworldly force is haunting me.
The woman says she constantly sees some dead man in her dreams. He rises from his coffin and reaches out for her.
He stands above me and says, "Follow me." And then I wake up because I can't breathe.
After Kvitoslava first saw the man in the dream, a billboard got torn off by the wind and fell on her on the street.
I was walking along the street when the heavy metal billboard fell from the store.
The several dozen kilogram board cut Kvitoslava's leg, and she hardly avoided staying disabled.
I constantly find myself on the brink between life and death.
Kvitoslava was also in a car crash. She suffered from internal hemorrhage as a result of the impact, and the medics barely saved her. Then she was almost killed by electricity while she was turning on her iron, which was in good condition. The desperate woman asks the psychics to help, as she's afraid her children may stay orphans.
I don't want to die. I can't imagine them living without me.
The journalists of the project called Yaroslava Fedorova promptly, and she was at the office an hour later.
I see a mirror. First, you see a shadow in the mirror.
Yes. What I saw was something transparent, and it looked like a tall man.
And then the mirror, it's smashed. It's like somebody's trying to get out of it.
That mirror almost killed my son.
The big mirror was hanging in their apartment's corridor for years. Kvitoslava's 8-year-old son was putting on his jacket in front of it before going to school. The boy didn't even touch the glass. Then, all of a sudden, it shattered, and razor-sharp fragments began to pelt him.
I'm afraid to lose my children or leave them all alone.
Why do I see you in a wedding dress which is black?
I had a dream about it. I was standing in front of the mirror in the wedding dress, but it wasn't white but black and gray.
Hold on, there's a scar on your ring finger where the wedding ring is supposed to be.
It was burnt all over and was completely red here. I had a dream about the man. He put a ring on my finger and then started dragging me underground. Like, he opened the asphalt and began pulling me.
So, you're now engaged. Dreams of engagement with someone dead mean imminent death. And then the cards showed that the man was bound to the woman through her wedding. Do you have any photos from the wedding?
I do, but back home.
I needed to work with those photos.
The next day, Yaroslava Fedorova and her colleague, Jana Shulakova, went to Jitomir, where Kvitoslava lived.
Some otherworldly entity is haunting her, and I feel it's a man.
I see a woman and she's very outraged.
Is she angry with Kvitoslava?
Yes. Wait, could it be the woman you saw in your dream? I mean, the woman the cards are showing me.
They're different women.
I have the woman, you've got the man, something doesn't match.
Do you mean one of us could be wrong?
I don't know.
The clairvoyants are walking to the door of the building where Kviatoslava lives, but Jana Shulakova suddenly stops.
Jana, who do you see?
I see a young woman who is very similar to Kviatoslava. She says, the kids are alone. And then a train hits her.
Could it be her future?
It might be, but I would rather not tell her this. It will only scare her more.
In this photo, I see two men next to you. One is alive, and the other is dead. It's the man from my dream.
At that moment, Kviatoslava's cat entered the room. She was nervous and kept meowing as if trying to tell us something.
My cat never mews, but now she won't stop.
The cat feels everything. This is female energy, I'm sure.
Look, but I still see it's supposed to be a man.
Oh, God.
I still can't understand why it fell. The ironing board. I got really scared.
There's a dead woman here. I see her near the building. When we went outside, the woman's spirit was gone. But who was she and what children was she talking about? We understood, though, that the spirit was very aggressive and wished Kviatoslava death for some reason.
What's the matter? Hard to breathe?
Yes, I need more air.
Bring water, she felt bad.
Quiet. I hear some words. Find the dungeon, know the truth.
What dungeon?
I was shown the dead man who reaches to you from the underground. He clutches at your wedding dress and drags you down.
At the wedding, we were walking in the park and my dress got torn. I was simply walking, never stepping or tripping on something. Someone simply pulled at it.
It was him. I tell you, it was the dead man. Those were his dead hands. We had to go to the park, where he attacked her first.
Around here.
Everything looked a little different then.
That man, it was like he emerged from the underground.
As if there were a trapdoor there. I don't know. Has anyone ever been walled up here?
Our journalists found out that not long before Kviatoslava's wedding, one of the pathways of this old park collapsed. And remarkably, historians found an ancient catacomb in the gap.
This is the basement. From the basement, the catacomb starts.
It was later discovered that the catacombs extend beneath the entirety of the park. The locals say they sometimes see a ghost here.
A silhouette floating in the air.
Sometimes it's a silhouette and sometimes it's a shadow. But when you look that way, you see nobody.
One of the locals even filmed something paranormal. Watch. It's clear there's a strange silhouette moving here.
The man's spirit most probably emerged from the underground after the pathway collapsed. But why was he trying to drag Kviatoslava to the netherworld? I see a woman, she says. I'll show you where to find him. Come on.
Have you ever been here?
Not. It's my first time here.
The woman's spirit is pointing at this door. she vanished.
Hello. I was surprised. They're celebrities. You see them on TV every day, and now they're standing at your door. It was incredible to see the psychics.
We're helping this woman.
And the dead woman's spirit, it brought us here.
It's so eerie.
The artist has her workshop and studio where she teaches children fine arts in the apartment. It turned out she doesn't know Kviatoslava, but she allowed the clairvoyants to work in her apartment.
Have you seen anyone?
No, I haven't. But I feel something. I often hear someone open the door but never come in. And you feel cold down your spine as if someone's looking at you.
I often see something like a man's dark silhouette.
Look, it's a portrait of the woman who brought me here. But here she's a lot younger, and her hair's different. You didn't paint this face.
I was painting a landscape, but painted the face instead. It felt like it was painting itself, like
someone was controlling your arm?
Yes.
This is his mansion.
If the man we've been looking for...
One painting fell and then the other. We were all shocked.
I can't believe it. Whose mansion is it?
Baron de Chaudoir's, built in 1900.
We learned that Baron de Chaudoir lived in the late 19th, early 20th centuries and was a famous patron.
He supported artists. As a nobleman, he was wealthy enough to support them.
Did he paint?
Yes, he was an artist.
Over a century ago, there was the Baron's big mansion in the park, and this building was the only to survive to date.
Baron de Chaudoir. Is it his spirit that's haunting Kviatoslava? Yes, it's him.
The woman's spirit said we needed to find a dungeon.
Does this building have a basement?
There is a big basement here, and there are even underground tunnels extending from it. However, they're bricked up, but they're there.
The Baron's spirit was roaming the catacombs as if he were looking for someone but couldn't find.
I decided to check the basement. It was possible I could make contact with the spirit. Yaroslava, I see him. What's the matter?
We got so scared. Yaroslava fainted. She fell, convulsing, and couldn't breathe.
I simply saw the spirit. It felt like he was walking through me. He can't walk.
This is Baron de Chaudoir. His legs were paralyzed, and he used the wheelchair the final years of his life.
What does he want?
He says, I love her. He wants me to go there. To the painting. Anna. The cards told me it was the Baron's spirit that controlled Alina's hand while she was making this painting. He was also an artist. He was painting a portrait of a woman named Anna. Who's Anna?
There was a woman he loved and for whom he had this park built.
He showed you her face at the moment when he saw her for the first time. He owes her a lot. She kept the mansion, but she wasn't his wife. She loves him a lot, but he doesn't believe her. He thinks she's only around him because of his money. The man only realized the woman loved him after he became disabled. Anna didn't leave him, and so he decided to marry her, but he died several days before the wedding.
Anna Volta. She was about 15 years younger than Chaudoir. Tall, slim, she was a very attractive woman. After he ended up disabled physically, she showed him great care. Not long before his death, Fedorova announced he was going to engage with Anna Ivanivna.
He's searching for his fiancée.
But I don't understand what I have to do with it.
He saw you in the white wedding dress. He thought you were his fiancée.
Oh God. I fear he'll be haunting me always.
These people loved each other so much that even after they both died, their souls spent a century to find each other. But who is the mysterious woman that is killing Kviatoslava?
Let's first finish with the man and Anna, and then we'll deal with that woman. You see, the cards are showing that the fiancé is at peace, but the man is not. Wait! His bones were thrown out of his grave.
It turned out that in 1919, Baron de Chaudoir's remains were indeed thrown out of his crypt.
A so-called Civil War hero Bozhenko died, and somebody remembered the class enemy Baron de Chaudoir had died recently. So they threw his remains out not far from the crypt and buried Vasil Bozhenko instead.
Anna and the Baron have been searching for each other for many years, but they can't meet because she's in the heaven, and he's stuck in between the worlds.
The clairvoyants and Kviatoslava went to the sport where, according to the historians, the Bolsheviks left Baron de Chaudoir's remains. The grave is obviously highly neglected.
The crypt was empty. I didn't see anything in there except garbage. But I had the feeling the Baron's remains were somewhere around.
A bone.
It was behind the brick.
It's a bone. It's really a bone.
We had to carry out a ritual to unite the souls of the lovers who were in different worlds. But first we had to cover the bones with earth and recite a prayer.
For the ritual, the psychics and Kviatoslava leave the graveyard's grounds.
I saw the lovers' souls unite in the flames and rise together to the heaven.
He won't bother you anymore.
Her spirit's not leaving. She's genuinely grateful to you, she says. It's all because of her husband.
My current husband?
Yes.
What could it mean? Kviatoslava is in danger of dying because of her husband. But why? What kind of force is haunting her?
She's young. She's shouting, "He'll never be yours."
My husband had another wife who died. I saw her in a dream. She told me he'd never be mine.
What happened to her?
She was hit by a train.
No, she jumped under the train.
The awful tragedy happened in 2016. The woman was only 26.
Did she jump under the train because of you?
No, I didn't even know her. I met my husband after she died.
The woman's spirit is haunting Kviatoslava because of her husband. We needed to talk to Alexander.
Kviatoslava phoned her husband. He soon arrived to speak to the psychics.
What happened to your first wife that caused her to leap under the train?
I can't answer this question.
The woman jumped under the train 40 kilometers from Zhytomyr. She went there purposefully, and it seems she'd been planning to do it for some time. The couple spent 8 years of happy marriage. The man argues his wife had absolutely no reasons to kill herself.
And she had 3 children, and I have 2 children. Please save me. I fear for my life. I'm afraid to leave them all alone.
When Alexander's wife died, their children were little. Their sons had only begun to go to school, and their daughter was only 4.
She's afraid he'll know her secret. It's got something to do with money.
After her death, it turned out she'd had some debts, of which he didn't suspect.
My cards told me that Alexander's wife was lured into a sect where they cheated money out of her. Not only did she take loans from banks, but she also borrowed money from other people.
The people she borrowed from threatened her to kill her children.
But what does Kvitoslava have to do with this?
When I saw her in my vision, she clearly told me the kids are alone.
Did you leave your children?
They live with their grandma, my mother.
Her spirit wants to get rid of Kvitoslava because it thinks she's the reason her husband left their sons and daughter.
When Alexander's children saw Kvitoslava for the first time, they thought their mom returned because she looks like her a lot.
When they saw me for the first time, they shouted, "Mom!"
The children must have a family. They must communicate with you and be with you because you're their father.
Now I understand. We'll love and raise all of our children.
Thank you for helping us settle everything. The children's welfare matters most of all, and we'll take care of them. I know they'll live a good life with me, and I'm going to love them.
Unbelievable. The family has finally come to the seemingly obvious conclusion to take the children to live with them. If only they hadn't needed such eloquent hints from the netherworld. If you're impressed by the story, leave your comments, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The best stories are yet to come.